Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we will talk about how you can update the property of a resource if you want to redeploy. Basically this is called as update in stack, and the other thing which we will discuss about how you can delete the stack. So we will be talking about these two things, but before proceeding to deploy, I have actually received a feedback from some of the users who are facing the issue while deploying these scripts on the Windows platform. So you have VS Code on the Windows environment available. So what you need to do is you have to install the Git Bash, and when you install the Git Bash, then you have to come here, and then you need to select that respective terminal over here. So basically, what Git Bash is doing, it is giving you or simulate the Linux environment over the Windows. So by having that, you just easily install. Uh, you can say these templates over there. Just make sure when you're going to deploy Git Bash, you have to update the AWS CLI, and you also have to make changes in the SAM CLI. SAM needs to be installed there. And in Windows, you can face some other challenges as well. For example, sometimes the SAM is not come as sam.exe like the way we have in the Linux. It can be sam.cmd or some other format. You need to check with the, you can see your operating system documentation from the SAM. So let's continue and start deploying this resource first, and then I will show you the user experience when we're going to update the value of the instance type. Okay, let's start. So first thing first, I have to, all right, so cd tech. All right, find the resource, storage as deploy. And first we need to package.sh. Package is completed, then we need to deploy. So when I am deploying the resource, it will be generating the configurations and creating the change set. So it is just like I'm just starting the addition. So if you noticed, the change set has the operation is add, logical resource is my instance, resource type is EC2 instance. Right now you can see that the replacement is showing as NA or not applicable, because right now we are deploying these resources. This is an add operation, so it doesn't matter. So let's continue with the deployment. I will be deploying this thing. We have used t2.micro, and if I go to this query, I will be noticing it has started creating the stack and resources. And if I go back to this one, you will be noticing that it is coming BC04 as pending. All right, it has initiated a resource, so after some time it becomes available. So if I go back to the CloudFormation, so you can see that it has marked this as complete, and events indicating that this has been deployed successfully. If I go to resources, you can see that C04 is an instance that has just created, and you can see it's now running. If I click on this resource, the value is t2.micro, and if you see downstairs here, it is showing 350 is the image ID which we are using. All right, so I have just deployed the resource like the way which we have deployed previously, but I want to show you the update process. So before showing you the update, let me take you to the documentation of this EC2. All right, so if you noticed here, if you want to deploy an EC2 resource, then you have to give the values from here. We have used two values. One is image ID. We are giving the AMI information, and then other thing is instance type, where we are actually giving the value t2.micro whatever. All right, I want to modify, let's say I want to modify the value of instance type. So I want, right now it is t2.micro, so I want to use t3.micro. What is the thing? I can go to this property. This is image ID and this is instance type. So if I go to instance type, in the beginning when we are going to deploy, it is not required. So in the template, if I just delete this value, right, meaning if I just delete this value, then I am still able to deploy this resource. It does not have any of the existing value. Maybe possible I have checked from documentation, they are using a default value just in case if I'm not defining this value. Maybe it is using a default value that is set by CloudFormation for this particular resource. But as I have defined this value, so Amazon CloudFormation will be using this value. Now what? I want to update this value. So what is the process? So the process is with the update. So update requires some interruptions. Let me go to this documentation, what interruptions mean. So when I was going through this documentation, so you will see that AWS CloudFormation updates the resource with some interrupts. For example, if you update certain properties on EC2 instance resource, the instance might have some interruptions while AWS CloudFormation and Amazon EC2 reconfigure the instance, right? So it can be like you have to replace that particular instance. If this, for example, if you see the further, AWS CloudFormation recreates a resource during an update. I will give you this thing like if replacement is coming, where is this replacement is coming? Okay, I will show you first. But the theory is if AWS CloudFormation recreates a resource during an update, which also generate a new physical ID. So a new physical ID needs to be created, and the AWS CloudFormation usually creates the replacement resource first and changes reference from the other dependent resources to point to the replacement resource and then delete the old resource. So basically CloudFormation will be handling or taking care about all these steps. It will be creating the new resource first with a new physical ID, and then it will be redirecting all the dependencies to the new resource or the one which has replaced. And the third thing is it will be continue to delete the existing the one which we are going to update. So if I go back to the CloudFormation now, right now the status is create complete because it's the first time we have created. So let me go, and the instance it has created is of type t2.micro and the value is bc04. This is the instance ID. All right, so now let's continue and update the value and redeploy the stack. So what we need to do is we don't need to delete that stack in order to update this value. So I just go here and update this value from t2 micro to t3.micro. Save it, and now so right now you have noticed this was coming as 1 second, addition, replacement is not required. Okay, so let me go back. As we have updated the value, updated the configuration, so we need to regenerate the artifacts in the packaging. So I'm just doing packaging again. All right, so it's successfully. I need to deploy this now. So just don't worry about these variables as I have not defined the variables value in the deploy script. So you will be noticing that it is now going and check the change script, change set. Now you have noticed I have updated the value and it is coming as modify. Okay, logical ID is same, but replacement becomes conditional. So replacement becomes conditional means it will be check the type and then come back. Okay, so this needs a replacement or no. So let me proceed with this thing. Let me do it. Yes, all right. As soon as you proceed with this one, so you will notice that the BC04 is running. Okay, it is of T2.micro. So let's see how this proceed. So you have noticed the BC04 have stopped now. This is a T2.micro, and when I refresh it again, let's continue refresh. So basically, you will see now it is becomes running again T3.micro. So conditional means it has just shut down that particular resource and then restart again with the new value. This is the new type. So basically it has not replaced that particular resource. It has just shut down, update the value and then recreate. So may be possible if we go further, if there's a conditional value, then what is the process? So we have not mentioned about anything here. But anyway, all right. So we have noticed this thing from here that the value has been updated to t3.micro and this is confirmed. The ID is same and everything is same. So this is how the update cycle works. And now if we refresh, you have noticed we are getting a message update complete. If you see the events, how the event is coming, so the events are just coming update in progress. Here we have initiated the update, and then over this particular instance, update complete and update complete cleanup in progress. So just in case if there is some, you can say, resource need to be recreated or redirected, then it will be taking off by AWS CloudFormation over here. All right. So this is how it is. The next thing is which you want to discuss is about how we can delete a stack. So if you click on the stack, you're getting different options here: create stack, stack actions, stack, update stack, and delete. So just if you click on delete, it is asking permissions, delete. It will go and start deleting the whole stack. And again, if you notice from the, because we have already created one resource here, if I go back over here, BC04 right now showing in running status, and as the delete process has been initiated, so you have noticed it is now showing shutting down, and then after some time it will be terminated. So yeah, this is all about how you can update the resources and update the stacks in the AWS CloudFormation. In the next video, we will talk about the parameters, the conditions, the mappings, and some other stuff that is required to work on different resources. As right now, we are just using one resource, which is EC2. In the upcoming videos, we try to make some complex resources like complete EC2 with the EIP, and maybe we deploy some other resources like Lambda functions and IAM roles and whatever. So yeah, hopefully the pretty much the next video will be more challenging and more fun. But just in case, for your, you can say if you are following the DevOps roadmap, it is must for you to have a knowledge about this particular solution, which is any IAC. I'm not saying that you must be having an understanding of CloudFormation. You can go with a Terraform, you can go with I think any other IAC provider solution. But just to make sure, if you talk about DevOps, this means that you have to automate the things. By having this IAC, you can send this code or push this code to the GitHub, and then use CI/CD to deploy all these things. You can track your changes, you can modify your things, you can without any human error. You have just noticed I have just deployed the resource without going to console. I'm just checking the resource was created successfully, whatever. So this is how I think this course is really important for you. So please have a look, watch this course completely. And in case if any of your friends is interested, please share this channel with him. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much and have fun. We'll see you in the next video.